Hi guys. Oh my god, as you can hear right now. Can you hear? Can you actually? I am very sick. I mean, I'm not sick, I don't feel physically sick, but my voice is very raspy right now because my cousin Christina stayed with me during the weekend and she was very sick. So thank you so much, Chris, for giving me all of your germs. But anyway, guys, welcome to another Patreon secret Q&A. Thank you so much for your support and for sending me all the questions that I'm about to read. This is going to be like a visual podcast in the sense that you can put me on the background and I'm not going to put any inserts on this video. So if you wanna, again, clean your flat or go out for a walk or draw with me, don't worry, because I am not going to put any inserts and unless I specify that I'm putting an insert. And the other thing is that if you don't want to watch this entire video, because I know it's going to be very long, I'm going to put all the questions down below as a question menu, so you can check the specific answer of a specific question that you want to hear, listen to, watch. So you don't have to watch this entire thing, but if you want to, be my guest, you guys. So Stale, I never know how to pronounce your name because you have that A with the circle thingy. Is Stale or Stale? Please let me know because I would love to know how to pronounce it. Stale asks, how do you see your Etsy shop and your brand evolving? Is the search in others just temporarily? Or do you see yourself having to take it to the next level and renting an office space and perhaps employing another person? And then Cocosita asks something very similar, and I have no idea if I should read that question right now. Okay, so I'm going to answer your question first, Dale. Of course, I have wild plans for my Etsy shop, but I have no idea if they're going to happen or not. When I started drawing and just like planning the planner, at some point I realized that what I wanted to do is very similar to what Rifle Paper & Co. Is doing, and I love that brand. Strangely enough, I don't have any products from Rifle Paper & Co., but it's a very well-known stationery brand in the US. And they have gorgeous stationery. I actually have one. This is an insert, guys. You have to see the screen, but this is actually a book that I have. And Anna Bond, which is this illustrator behind the brand, she's talented AF. She's great. And when I started doing the planner and the weekly schedule and the monthly calendar, I suddenly realized that I was doing in some way what she did when she started. And the idea of having international stationery brand wasn't in my plans, guys. My plans as an illustrator was to illustrate books, doing graphic novels every once in a while. I love traveling and doing travel journals, so I thought in some way that was going to be my life, and having an Etsy shop with like notebooks and stickers and stuff like that, and that was it. But now that I see the true potential of what I can do, I suddenly realized that maybe I could have what Anna Bond has. Of course, she's light years ahead of me, and she already has like a huge warehouse full of stationery and stuff like that. I see myself renting an office soon, guys, if I can be honest with you, because my flat right now, guys, is a freaking mess. I know you have watched videos, especially the one I shared with you 2 weeks ago, but my flat is been taken over by boxes and packing supplies, which is heaven to me. I have to be honest, guys. I love the stationery smell, and I love the paper smell and printing smell. That this is amazing. But the line between my working life and my personal life is getting really blurry, because since I see work in every room I go, it's really hard for me. It's getting really hard for me to separate both lives, so to speak. So I do see myself, I do see myself renting a space in the upcoming months. Fingers crossed, sometime in the first semester of next year. But again, I have no idea how my financial situation is going to be next year. And regarding employing another person, for the time being, no, guys. Because already employing Jazz is really expensive, because the UK government, they are basically not forcing me to, but they ask me to give her benefits like pension and health insurance and stuff like that. And that's really expensive over the already salary that I'm giving her, which, by the way, I had no idea you had to do, and now I'm like doing some research, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to pay all of this thing extra. So for the time being, no. We are considering maybe for next Christmas hiring someone part-time to help us, because Ed and I would love to have a kid soon, a baby. And if that happens in the upcoming years, we can't keep packing the planners or like the products ourselves. So at some point in the upcoming 2 or 3 years, we'll have to hire people only for the Christmas season to help us pack, only because of that. But yeah, that Stale is like the most honest and raw answer I can give you. And the surge in orders just temporarily. Usually what you guys see right now is like an extreme version of my shop. Maybe I can show you how is the shop like during the year, because it is quite quiet in comparison to what you see right now. Of course, we don't have this demand during like throughout the entire year. For us, actually, summertime, it was a ghost. Like no one was buying for weeks, and we try to use that time to invest in doing research for the planning and upcoming products. And I think most of the shops that's what they do during the quiet months. They call suppliers, they call maybe, I don't know, investors, or like other products that they can test. They test the products, they design upcoming products. So even though we don't have actual work as packing and going to the post office, we are indeed working on more admin things. So that's why we're trying to compensate those two things. So Cocosita says, I was wondering exactly the same. Especially the third question came into my mind when watching the most recent video yesterday. Nowadays, your job and your life and your home seem to be more intertwined is the word, than ever before. I just saw your how to get back into drawing video, and I can imagine and see that and how you're truly missing the core of your job and your passion as an illustrator now that you are so busy with packing orders and playing post office, and that it affects you not only as a creative person, yet also as a person in C. Hence the rusty feeling you're talking about. The heart of my question, and also what I'm a little worried about you these days, is how do you try to manage to find sort of like a balance? Now that I'm not convinced that being successful generates its own kind of happiness and pride and fulfillment, yet one needs real time off to charge and feel deeply fulfilled. I know that you know this, yet I would love to hear you talking about your currency experience in this area, especially these days as Ed is away, and as these are the very busy moments for Etsy shop owners, even more as a creator of a very much wanted and worldwide appreciated planner collection. Maybe it will be a good thing to, e.g., take some Etsy time off in late spring to recharge and purely focus on the creative process again. Or how do you see this? Thank you so much for your unique way of sharing. Oh my god, all the things you share, always much love. Muchas gracias y un abrazo de Francia. Cocosita, this is the thing. I think you just like give, how do you say that? When you give the nail to the head? When, like, anyway, you make an amazing point, because that is exactly how I feel. We had no idea the planner was going to be as successful as what it was and how it's doing right now. So in some point in my mind, in that scenario was like, oh my god, Jess is going to take care of the shop during Christmas and I'm going to keep producing and creating and drawing. But at some point I had to step in the shop because it was too much for Jess. She's amazing and she works really fast, but it was like too much even for her. So right now I am new in this, guys. This is like the main core of this message is I am so freaking new into this, having a shop, that I'm still learning how to balance my life as a creator and how to balance my life as a shop owner, and what type of instructions I have to give, or like how to balance work and illustrating and drawing and being a shop owner in some way. So all of this process that you just mentioned, they're very new to me. So I'm trying to do my best to figure out a way of not coming across as such a huge window of time in which I don't draw, because I feel not physically sick, but I feel really like something is missing when I don't draw. And you can also see that, guys. So sometimes it's like I feel very guilty as well, because I'm like, oh my god, I'm a YouTuber, like an illustrator doing YouTube, and I have an Instagram account, but I never draw. I never, it's very, I mean, not at this time of the year usually, but I should be drawing more. So now I want to, I don't know if taking some time off from Etsy will be the best, because after December everything quiets it down, so we can keep the shop open for people that really want to purchase things, but at the same time I can have some time to recharge and redraw things, or like think about all the things that I want to do next year, which, by the way, we need to talk about this, guys, on our end of the year live stream, and I'm really excited about that because I love sharing all of my plans and things I want to do next year. So I hopefully we can meet again and we can talk about our plans. I'm sorry if the camera is shaking. Did I answer this correctly? I'm trying to be as honest as I can with time management, and since I'm still learning a lot of these things, Cocosita and Stale, I have no idea. I mean, I know what I'm doing, but I still need to learn a lot about. I'm sorry, tiny burp. I still need to learn a lot about how to create this balance. I know when you're a freelance, there's some weeks in which you have to do more admin things than drawing, and the other way around. For example, last year, January and February, I drew every single day, all day, because I was trying to finish the friendship book. And I know that's an extreme because my shop was closed, and now my shop is open, but I need to make time in my day to draw. I actually have to, guys. I'm trying to get back to Instagram more. So I'm like, after filming this video, I need to draw, because I set myself like a goal of drawing every single day, even if it's a tiny drawing. So I hope that I answer your question. Sonia Harrison, hi Fran, I would love to know all about you, how you started your blog and your vlog. Did you dive in, or did you do a lot of pre-planning before you launch? Did you do any research about vlogging before you started, or did you emulate vlog that you liked? Do you use a platform like WordPress or something else? When you first started, how did you decide the content? Anything else that you could add on the process? I am a vlog addict, and I will start my own day soon. Thank you for the inspiration as always. Thank you, Sonia. So for those of you who have no idea, blogging with a B is basically a blog in which you write and you put some pictures and stuff. And vlog with a V is when you video blog. And the truth is, I started my blog, like my writing blog, when I was in 2007. Oh my god, 10 years ago. 10 or like 9 years ago. And it's something that I really want to get back into, but right now I literally have no time and I have to prioritize things. but I started my blog as a platform to upload my projects and the stuff that I was working on and all of the things that I was enjoying at the time. And then I started illustrating something a day, one illustration a day of my life, or the things that I was thinking, or the stuff that I was doing back then. That was in Chile, guys, in Spanish. It was a long time ago. And then at some point I did the transition from blogging to YouTube, in which I started doing blogging but in a video way. And like, oh, by the way, before that I was using Blogspot, which I know it's not the best platform, but it works wonderfully. And I never liked WordPress. I don't know why. Maybe Blogspot is easier to use and I could change the template of the blog, and that's why I liked it so much. I felt like for WordPress it was much more constraining. I'm sorry guys, my feet are like getting numbed. And for vlogging I started YouTube because it was like back then the platform in which you can upload videos. I also had a Vimeo account, guys, but the problem with Vimeo is that the community there wasn't as I don't know if the word's encouraging, but it wasn't as I know I thought in some way back then the community on YouTube was way nicer, and I don't know, there was something happening there besides all of the people that I was watching. They were already on YouTube, and that's why I started doing more videos. But that's the platform I used. When you started, how do you decide on content? So on my blog, when I was writing all of the things, I wanted to find my illustration style, and that's why I started drawing every single day. Black and white, guys, nothing fancy. But I realized that I really wanted to find myself, not only my voice as an artist, but also my illustration style. And I knew that the only way of doing that was basically writing, not so much writing, but drawing every single day. And on YouTube, oh my god, you guys, I watched so many beauty bloggers back then. Not that much right now, but I was really into lots of beauty bloggers, and I'm like, God, I wish there was some community out there for illustration. And just like us, there's so many people talking about lipsticks and eyeshadow palettes, which, don't get me wrong, they're awesome. I wish there were people talking about pens and watercolor palettes. So I dive in. I was really nervous because in the beginning everything was in Spanish, and then I realized when we moved to Europe it was a nice transition to start talking in English. And I think that's pretty much it. I feel like I'm missing so many questions. I wish you the best, Sonia, if you do it. I think it's great, and it's a nice way of reaching an audience. I also started my YouTube channel because a lot of people wanted to purchase on my Etsy shop, my online shop, but I was really scared that people wouldn't. I want people to see that there was an actual human behind the shop. It was a random girl with 2 cats living in Berlin, and I don't know why I thought people were really scared of purchasing things online. Like, I didn't want people to feel like I was going to scam them. So that's why I started my YouTube channel also, because I wanted people to see the process behind a travel journal or the stickers. And it was like a super pretty, it was like a family business, and there was people behind the shop. So I wanted to create that connection between the customer and me, and it was pretty much really effective, actually. So if you want to link that to your online shop or any online business, I highly suggest you have an active social media platform and social media, because you will create that link or that connection of trust, and people need that trust, believe me. Shirley, oh my god, I'm going to butcher your name. I'm so sorry. Shirley. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Hi Fran, how do you overcome your fear and challenge when you're self-doubt? Low confidence and probably your family not supporting you. Oh my god, I hate this. I mean, not your question, don't get me wrong. I hate the scenario. So self-doubt is the worst, but I think it's something that even though you can fight and get better, you're always going to self-doubt yourself. The trick here, my dear Shirlene, which I wish I could pronounce your name correctly, is that you have to work alongside the self-doubt, because it's something that probably not a very high intensity, but you're always going to feel self-doubt. It's very strange to find an artist that is truly 100% confident of what they're doing, or like thinking they're doing the best and most amazing thing ever. So please never feel like self-doubt is not common, or we have to exterminate it at 100%, because that's not it. I feel like self-doubt is great in some way, not in an excess, of course, but self-doubt help us to question ourselves and to have self-critique and say like, am I doing this correctly? Am I truly feeling what I'm doing right now? Am I being truly honest to myself and to my audience? So I feel like self-doubt can be a positive thing when you connect it, or when you put it in a direction in which can help you to make your work more rich, or more vulnerable or more honest, or more raw. All of those amazing things. And if there's any consolation, we all feel like that all the time. It's just that we have to just keep going. You can't allow self-doubt to paralyze you, or to stop making you feel like you can't do what you love. That's my most honest answer. It happens the same with fear. I realize with time that I'm probably never going to stop feeling fear, and so I realized and I learned that I have to work alongside fear. So this is the same thing, my love. Low confidence is basically the same as I mean, not the same, but it's very similar to that. I feel like a way of fighting low confidence is to work your flaws. For example, and I know I mentioned this on my YouTube channel, but for example, if I have low confidence regarding my work and the things that I need to work on, I do a list of all the things that make me feel insecure. For example, drawing landscapes, or drawing old people, or painting with watercolors. I actually need to do that, by the way. Or for example, if I compare myself a lot to another artist, like, why do I feel I have to compare myself to that person? What is it? Why am I feeling like this? And I write down all the stuff that make me feel insecure, like low confidence. And the only way to fight those feelings of low confidence or like self-esteem regarding work is to work on those stuff. Set aside an hour or a half an hour to work on the things that make you feel insecure about your work, and that in some way you'll feel like once you work those things, it will make you feel more secure about you, yourself and your work. And probably your family not supporting you a lot. God, I feel like how can I say this without sounding like a huge asshole? So I don't know your family, Charlene. Oh God, Shirley. I wish I could say that, okay, that right. I don't know your family. In my case, my family didn't support me a long time because I wasn't supporting me either. Family tend to express their anger or their fear or their scary thoughts because, oh my God, it's getting really dark. I'm so sorry, guys. They tend to express their thoughts of concern and feeling like scared and stuff like that, and fear, because they see you feeling fear or like of feeling scared. I think that once I started feeling more comfortable about what I really wanted to do, about the things that I want to do with my life, and I feel more secure with myself, and I started to show more confidence, my family switched. I don't know why. I don't know why, because nothing changed. Like, I remember I had the same amount of work I had before, but once people know, or like they see you know what you're doing, or like you seem to have a direction, like a goal, people stop complaining. And at some point also you'll have to just give it time. For a long time, even though I wasn't sure what I was doing necessarily, I knew I had passion about illustrating. For you it could be, for example, writing or other things, but for me, I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I love this. If there's one thing I'm really sure about life, is how much I love illustration. So I will just have to prove myself and to the people surrounding me that this is going to be it. This is going to be my life. So I'll just give it time. And for a long time, you guys, my family kept asking questions like, when are you going to get a job? Or like, when are you going to live from this? Especially when Ed and I were living in Berlin. Oh my God, guys, that was like, oh man, all of my family showing signs of concern. And I just have to keep working really hard and receive those thoughts of concern and doubt with the best heart, and say like, I really appreciate that you are concerned or fear or like scared about this, but I really love what I'm doing right now. And be like the best. Try to be your best self when people attack you, because I think in some way they're projecting their own scary feelings with you. So most of the times when people feel like that, it's not only because they're scared about you, it's because they project their own scary things on you. So try to be really polite and nice, and just carry on and keep working. Prove them wrong. I feel like that was my mantra for so freaking long, guys. So that's my advice. I hope that this worked, and this is what you were looking for, my love. I'm so sorry if I didn't answer your question, but let me know if I can do more. Pantonia asks, hi, this is my first time that I get to ask questions. Yay, since I joined. Oh my God. Welcome, my love. Welcome. So sorry in advance for the mother load of about going to Tokyo. My brother and I are thinking of going next year, but we have some worries. That's totally okay. From 1 to 10, how hard, stressful was to do things like taking transportation, buying stuff, or ordering food without knowing the language or being able to read any of it. I mean, 1 being really easy to 10 really hard, I think 1. I mean, and I'm vegan, guys. I thought it was going to be stressful and hard as hell, but I never seen people so considerate and worried about you in my entire life as a tourist. Japanese people will go on and beyond to help you, to assist you, to talk to you. They don't know English at all, but they will make you hand gestures. Most of the menus, they have pictures, so you can show them what you want or what you need. They are the most loving and caring people in the world. I also suggest you, Pantonia, to download the City Mapper app. That app, you guys, save us. Because it allows you to go from place A to place B in no time, and they show you different options and how, for example, subway options and like bus options. So please don't be worried or stressed about this, really. I was really worried and anxious about this, and then I realized how much energy I spent worrying about this, and it was amazing. The second question is, the 3 of us are sadly extremely picky eaters, which sucks because we'll miss a big experience from that. But anyways, from 1 to 10, how hard do you think it will be for us to survive food-wise? I like, are they enough international food to find? Yes, I mean, there's Burger King and Burger King and McDonald's everywhere. Chips, like fried French fries everywhere. Most convenience stores, they're filled with soda and crisps and sweets and stuff like that, and cookies. Oh my god, you guys, the cookies there are insane. Like I missed a lot of. In some way, you always think you're going to miss experiences because in our vegan, and there were a lot of food that we couldn't eat or taste because we're vegan. So we were really sad of missing those things. But there's like a lot of options for everybody, and I'm sure you're going to eat a lot. I mean, once you get to know the things you like, there's convenience stores everywhere, and there's places to eat like international food everywhere, because Tokyo is a super touristy friendly place. So please don't be worried about that. Of course, there's tons of Japanese food, but you're going to love it, trust me. On the bread, god, no, yep, everything will be okay, I promise. What else? The question 3: how much do you think is reasonable or minimum budget to bring with you to move around, shop and eat? Oh my god, this depends a lot, you guys. I brought I love that I can share these things with you, but because since I went on a business expense, I brought something like, we stayed there 8 weeks. I mean 8 weeks, what am I even saying? We stayed there 2 weeks. And guys, I paid everything I consume, all the souvenirs, everything, all the food and stuff like that. And we couldn't even eat on the cheaper places because sometimes vegan food can be more expensive than the usual. But I brought something like 600 to 800 pounds there in 2 weeks. And with that, we went to Kamakura, which is outside Tokyo. We travel a lot with our travel cards, like the Passmo card, which is the subway card. I pay all the food, like breakfast, lunch, snacks in between, and dinner, and all of that was for 2 weeks. Now, I didn't go all the way crazy with souvenirs and stuff like that, so I might be not the best example, but that's how, at least what I spent. And did I buy anything expensive during my trip to Japan, like tech or like no, I didn't buy anything expensive, I think. At least I don't remember. I think the most expensive thing that I bought is stationery, because stationery can be super expensive, especially pens. Oh my god, it's getting so dark. I'm so sorry, guys. But that's it. I mean, if you're not going to buy any like big chunks of stationery like I did, you're going to but Antonia, everything's going to be okay. And 4, did you use internet or your phone to move around and stuff? Did you use oh my god, I'm sorry guys. Did you use a roaming service or something else? Well, I had so many more questions actually, but I really feel bad. So, please, Antonia, send me a private message and I can answer. I can help you answer the questions. So I'm going to leave this down below. But Ed and I, which I also pay with the money I just told you, but we spent £60 on a pocket Wi-Fi system. And the pocket Wi-Fi is basically a router you carry around with you, and it's the same size of an iPhone, for example. And it's a device you turn on and you can leave on during the entire day, and then you charge when you're at home once you arrive from walking around all day. And it's the best, guy. I mean, it's the best, guys. I don't know why I say guy. It's the best, guys. So we use the most stronger connection because we needed to upload videos in between and keep our social media updated. And that's why it costed £60. I'm sure there's more cheaper options, but that is the one we used during those 2 weeks, and it was the best idea ever, guys, because if you're going to move around Tokyo, you need internet. And I've heard, I didn't check this because we had the pocket Wi-Fi, but a lot of people said that there's almost free Wi-Fi connections during Tokyo, like in Tokyo. So since we didn't want to risk getting lost or ask for directions. We kept the Wi-Fi on during the entire day. Also, this goes on hand with the first questions, but there's Starbucks everywhere. You're going to be fine. But yeah, let me know if I answer your question, and worst case scenario, just like write me a private message and I can guide you. I can help you as best as I can. Cocosita asks, nothing really urgent or illustration related, although Paris is full of inspiration. I know. I'll be happy if you want to share the link of your last Airbnb in the capital of my current country, as there are so many to choose from. Merci beaucoup. Cocosita! Fran, the question hasn't to be answered in the video. It's also welcome via simple reply here or a personal message if you prefer that. Baby, I'm going to link that down below. So, Elodie Duclos. Hi, Fran. Elodie, I love your questions. I have a question around your shop. Last summer, you talked about having a different brand for your planners with a different name and selling your products via your own website. Can you tell me why you decided to keep in your Etsy shop under your artist name, Frannerd? I plan to launch some stationery products in the future, and I would love to know more about your thinking process on the matter. Have a great week. You too, baby. So I still have that plan. The thing is, I haven't had any time to work on that website, but it's still on track. I just want to divide myself and my stationery brand from me, because even though it's related to me and the work I do, I just want to do something bigger than me. And that's why I am going to, in the near future, change that. I would love to separate myself a little bit from Etsy, because Etsy, even though I love the platform, I really want to transition into my own online shop and keep Etsy open in case there's people that really prefer the service, but I want to keep the main thing on a separate website. Regarding your question, Elodie, it only depends if the work you're doing you feel is related intrinsically to yourself and who you are, or if it's something that, even though it's made by you, you feel it's a totally different thing. For this, I guess you have to use your common sense. For example, most of the travel journals I do and most of the scenes I do, they're regarding in some way about me, or like the person who is narrating everything, it's me in some way. So it's linked to who I am and to my thoughts and the process that I'm living, or like something like that. So I wouldn't put, for example, my scenes under the stationery brand, but everything else, like the planner and the calendar and the weekly schedule and stuff like that, even though they're made by me, they're not intrinsically something that I am the main character in some way. So I feel like you have to use your common sense a lot. But yeah, and if you have a great name, use it. I know a lot of artists struggle with that in the beginning, because they either started with a nickname and then regretted and put their name on it, or the other way around. They started with their name and then they tried to separate themselves from their brand and then transition to another name. Regarding that, make sure that you feel it from, like, genuinely from the bottom of your heart. And worst case scenario, if you don't have a name, just like work with your own name and then see if it happens. Like, even the worst case scenario of changing the name of your brand, even though it's tricky, it's not impossible. Lots of brands have changed their name in the past, and it's not the end of the world. And you have a gorgeous name, Elodie. So I can clearly see a brand with your name on it. And I think that's my most honest answer. Also, see what your favorite brands are and what they're called, because you can get them as inspiration, or I don't know, like even as a reference of what you want to do. I think that's my answer. I hope I answer it. Oh my God, Cocosita answer. She has a question. So Cocosita asks again. I forgot to ask earlier. Yet I really want to know, as your original Spanish version of Personas Favoritas, will be the perfect Christmas or birthday treat? Will be available in your online shop one day, e.g., on the day that you will launch your the English translation? Then I will try to be patient. Or is it better to follow the link you once recommended and order it via Chile? Will you make more money if I will order directly from your shop, or how does it work? I bet the answer is negative, yet I don't know if the rules regarding book publishing, royalties, etc. are the same for every single country. Thank you for letting us know. My dear Cocosita, I have no idea, because I mean, if we're going to publish the Personas Favoritas in English, it will be 100% happening in the first 3 months of next year. So it won't happen Christmas season, like there's no way, because we're still working on the translation. So I think the best case for you will be, if you're dying to get the Spanish version, get it now. Because I don't know if I'm going to sell the Spanish version online on my shop. I will only be able to sell, because of a copyright thingy, I can only sell the English version. So if you want the Spanish version, you can get it directly from Busca Libre, I think is the link that I shared. And if not, you can wait absolutely to this English version, which is going to be published in a couple of more months. But money-wise, I think I will get more money if you... I love that you are so considerate, you thought about that. I think you always get more money when someone buys it directly from you. And I can also sign it. So I think the best case for me, in my really... what is the word when you're very... selfish way, will be to buy it from me. But if you're dying to get it, just like, please go and get the Spanish version. Morla asks, until when can we ask Morla asks, until when can we ask questions before it's too late, guys? Morla, I usually leave this post a whole week before I answer the questions, so please, I mean, you can't do it right now, but usually that's the timing. I give you guys 1 week, entire 1 week to answer. I mean, to ask the questions. Am I making sense, guys? I don't know. Shirley Law asks again, hi friend, can you make a video about Etsy online shop? I will, baby. I will, because that video needs an update. Misty Gray asks, hi friend, my question is, how do you decide on which illustrations to offer as prints on your shop? When you've got sketchbooks full of paintings, ideas and drawings to post on social media, how do you choose which ones to offer for sale? I usually make this decision when lots of people are asking me for one in particular. But the truth is, and this is going to be very disappointing, Misty, I usually never know. It's just a gut feeling I have. And when the print is not selling very well, I just take it off Etsy. Because that's like the great thing about having an online shop, and that when something doesn't work right, or like when something is not selling properly, you just like take it down and that's it. I think usually there's themes that always work for Etsy products, like cats or pets or animals in general, witches, strong female characters. They always sell well on Etsy. But for example, I've made tons of mistakes right now. I'm doing inventory on the shop, and I realized the last print that I uploaded, which was the female hero, I don't know if you remember that, but if not, go to the Etsy shop. I'm not kidding you guys, that print hasn't sold anything. I think we have sold so far like 5 since I uploaded it. And so I guess you never know. Since I'm not new into the Etsy game, but I feel like it's still very unpredictable, in the sense of you never know how much you're going to sell until you just like try it and see what happens. But I wish it could be more predictable. I wish you could like see and have a sense of what is going to sell well and what not. But I guess you have to try and get to know your audience in that way. I feel like every time you not only do social media promotion, but you offer the chance of people to watch the behind the scenes of a painting or something, people are more drawn to buying something because they feel part of the process. So I guess you can always work out a way of selling more of something when you do that. But if not, I feel it's destiny. Sometimes like you can't predict that. Thank God, guys, I print my prints on demand, because otherwise I will have a stock of 1,000 prints that I will never sell. So I think when you're starting, Misty, try to have a low amount of prints to sell, because it will be better for your business to have it on demand as a small scale than to print like 1,000 of each print. So yeah, I think that's my most honest advice. Jennifer Dean asks, hi Jennifer. Hello friend, thank you so much for taking the time to answer some of our burning questions. Burning, I love that word. By the way, your questions are never burning. I never burning, they never burn me. What am I even saying, guys? My question this time is about your camera settings for blogging. I bought the same camera and lens after you told us what you use, but my videos never turn as crisp and the camera seems to have a hard time focusing on subjects. Have you found any tricks, or does Ed have any suggestions for shooting vlogs? Do you keep it on manual or automatic? I'm a newbie when it comes to cameras, and help will be appreciated. Baby, this is the thing, Jennifer. Ed told me everything. He taught me everything I know about this camera. The truth is, and I'm looking at the camera right now, is everything's in manual. I never work with manual, I mean like automatic focus or automatic lenses. And that's why every time you see me, the lens is steady, is pointing at one direction, and I don't change. The problem with this is that if I do this, and you have to see the video right now, guys. If I do this, it won't focus like on the background because I don't have it in automatic. I know it's great when you're vlogging, when everything it's automatic in the sense that everything is like always on focus. But I realize for me at least it's more comfortable to manually focus everything. The problem with this is that you have to get really good at focusing things, and to move the lens accordingly, that's always very tricky to do. And also we color edit all of our videos, which make the illusion that our camera is more great than what it actually is. Don't get me wrong, I love my camera, which by the way is the Canon EOS M, and I'm using a 22 lens. But I think that color correcting helps immensely when you have this camera. We're using this camera maximum capacity, but I realized I would love to update this baby, because even though the quality, the resolution, it's insane, right now I'm noticing that it's not the best right now, because I've been using guys this camera for 5 years or something. So maybe I should upgrade her. Is that a her camera? Anyway, so yeah, go to the settings, to the menu settings, and please click off all the manual things, all of the automatic things, and get used to the idea of focusing everything manually. And also please pay attention to the light settings. I don't know if you can see, but on the top right of the screen you can change all of the color settings for outside, or like for different light situations. Even the ISO and the opening of the, I don't know the names of that. This is Ed talking. Maybe I can give you a class, you guys. Ed can teach you how to use it, but we have everything in manual. Even like the aperture, that's the word, the aperture, everything's manual in this camera. So yeah, it took time. It took me a couple of months to grasp the idea how to film, but I love it. So did I answer your question, Jennifer? Anyway, I never know. Please let me know. Bailey Anderson. I'm hoping this is how you pronounce your name, Bailey. But your name is very similar to Bailey's, so the drink. So I think I'm doing it okay. Hi, friend. I'm a full-time art director at 2 magazines. Oh my god! My BFA, BFA, very nice friend, is in graphic design and illustration. In my work, which I love, I use my graphic design muscles every day. However, not so much on the illustration side. I am at the point where I'm making more effort to create work for myself and find a balance because I miss illustration so much. I like the idea of Patreon because it will give me a much needed structure to produce work. So here's my question. 1, how important do you believe YouTube has been for your Patreon? It's been really important. As I was answering some question, I think Misty was, or Jennifer, the importance of creating a connection and trust and the bonding situation with an audience is very important, guys. And there's a few platforms in which you can create that connection or trust or the feeling that people know you in some way, that I feel the same way with other creators. And that connection, I think, in my honest and humble opinion, you can create it either on Instagram or on YouTube. There's something like humans that we want to bond with people, we want to create a connection with people. And the idea that you can see how people talk, I mean, it's happening more with podcasts actually, but the idea that you can see how someone talks, or you can see their faces and where they live and what they're working on, the creative process, their pets, their cats, what they're doing on their free time and spare time and whatnot. I feel like that type of that type of connection, you can only find it on a few platforms. I feel like if you want to create that, you have to, of course, open up yourself, open your vulnerability or the things that you even are struggling with. People feel the desire to help you, not only financial, I mean, setting aside the financial aspect, people want to help you with likes or with views or whatever when they feel you have given them something to them first. This can be not only information, like I'm learning something new with you, but also when you're sharing stuff about your life and what you're learning and things like that. Eddie's walking down the hallway. So I feel like if you want to create that sense of trust and connection and that people want to give back to you, I feel you have to create first a very active presence, like online presence. This can be, of course, on YouTube or as a podcast, sharing your content and the things that you're learning, or even on Instagram. I feel like Twitter is trickier because people can't see you on Twitter unless you know how to use the platform properly. I feel like to me it's something about regarding voice, I feel, and that's why a podcast like ticks the box in some way, but the visual aspect to me is more important because I can see the person. I see when they get emotional because of something. I see when they're struggling, or I see where they live and what they like and what they love. And you need to create that connection and trust first. So answer your question, yes. Yes and no. YouTube, it is a strong platform, but it's not the strongest also. You also have podcasts and Instagram, so you have to check which one do you feel more comfortable with first. 2. What is the 1, 2, or 3 things you will advise for someone looking to start Patreon? Oh my god. I mean, as it's really hard to say like specific things to do. But in my advice, if I can give you the personal advice, I think 1, oh my god, tiny burp again, is to create like an active presence on social media. I think that would be my first advice. And keep it going, guys. You can't stop. I mean, people that have an amazing online presence and once they are on Patreon they stop. No, you have to keep it going. 2, give something extra on Patreon. I follow a lot of creators on Patreon, and I mean, not a lot of creators, but there's a couple that don't upload special content on Patreon. They just upload things that they're already out there. You need to create special extra content and exclusive content on Patreon also. And this also had to be steady. So that's why having a Patreon, even though it's amazing, is also equally demanding, because people are not going to ask you for this, but they're going to appreciate and being really grateful when you give something extra. And 3, be honest and vulnerable as hell. People want to get to know you. And I feel like when you try to imitate someone else or try to emulate someone else's methodology, or like, is that the formula? I guess is great, but at some point you'll have to personalize and customize your own formula, the things that love and work for you. And I think you need to find that as well, and be honest about the things that you're struggling, or what you're creating the platform in the first place, why Patreon will help you a lot. And also don't forget, if you're going to do a Patreon video, like announcing that you're going to release a Patreon account, please explain what Patreon is. That was my mistake. When I uploaded my first Patreon video, like, guys, I'm on Patreon, I never said what Patreon was. People were like, what are you talking about? So that will be my last advice. Please say and explain what Patreon is. Okay, guys, this is the last question. Can you believe it? Shijen. Shijen. Is that how you pronounce your name? Shijen Barton? Are you French, Cheyenne? Anyway, please tell me. I am delirious right now. It's almost lunchtime. We can do this, guys. I am not sure if you're still taking cues. Baby, I'm always taking cues. But I just went full-time freelance. Yay! Congratulations! And I opened my Etsy store. It's going very well. Congratulations, baby. But I'm realizing I am very bad boss and I'm way too wishy-washy with deadlines, scheduling, etc. How do you stay on top of everything and manage to produce good content across all your different venues without feeling like you're going a bit mad? Thank you, and you're such a huge inspiration. Oh my god, thank you, baby. Thank you, Cheyenne. Baby, I know exactly how you feel, because I don't feel on top of my game. Every time I know, like, I see other creators and artists being like super active on social media, I'm like, oh my god, I am not tweeting or doing anything. What I did is I created a calendar of all the things that I needed to promote on social media. Shijen, I need constant reminder of everything, because if I say, for example, it's Monday and I'm like, I need to promote the calendar, I need to promote the planner, and I don't write it down, I'm going to forget about it, because I need to pay attention to lots of different things, not only like work life, but also in my personal life. Like, I need to go to grocery shopping, I need to go to a coffee shop, and like whatever. So what my big advice will be, this is no secret actually, is to be as specific and plan ahead as much as you can, even like a month in advance, because it will keep you accountable of your things that you have to do, especially with clients. And in some way, all the people that are ordering from you, but which, by the way, congratulations, they are your clients, and you need to keep them as feeling secure and happy as you possibly can. So my advice will be to have a routine. So for example, first thing of the day, reply all Etsy comments and questions that people have. It's great to have customer support, and people are more likely to buy from you again or for the first time when they know there's someone there behind the shop answering their doubts or questions in general. And then you can prepare your social media calendar. So for example, if you need to take some pictures or write some copies, like copywriting for the things that you wanna tweet that same day, if you will need to film some videos and stuff like that. Later on, you can pack some, for example, orders, or go to a post office and stuff. And then if you know you have a deadline next week, you will see it on your calendar. So you're like, okay, I need to send, for example, some sketches next Tuesday. So I have 3 days to work on those sketches and send them to the client before I like to get some feedback. Try to have as like little small baby steps, as I say, like small deadlines, like goals, and set them every single day. So when the actual day arrives, you will have all ready to go for your client. This is the hardest thing, I guess. No, it's not the hardest thing, but it's a very tricky thing, Cheyenne, of being a freelance, that people will, more than your portfolio or like how great and amazing illustrator or graphic designer or writer you are, people will tend to come back to you because they had a great experience. And most of the times freelancers, we work because of a word of mouth. Is that how you say it? When people recommend you a lot. And if one client had a positive or a bad experience with you, that could be potentially detrimental to your popularity. No, what is the word with that? When how people perceive you. So it's very important that you need to be responsible with deadlines with clients. Even like if someone is going to be delayed on stuff, better to be the client than you. If someone is going to take the time to give you feedback, it's better to be the client than you, because I feel like when a client has a bad experience with a freelancer, he is going to let their friends and co-workers know about that, and it's less likely for you to get work later. This also happens with customers. If someone at your shop had a bad experience, even if it goes beyond you, for example, my parcel is delayed, that we have this type of complaints every single day, but there's nothing we can do because we're not controlling the trucks that are containing your parcels. They're like post office wise, there's nothing we can do with delayed parcels, but you can contain, or like you can support the customer until the end and let them know that you're here, and that even though there's nothing you can do, you're here to support them and to help them and to listen to them. And I think when a customer has a great experience with your shop, or at least when they see that you're worried and you're doing on and beyond, like you're going the extra mile for them, it's more likely not only them to come back, but they were also going to recommend you to other friends. So that's it. And now most than ever, people can talk shit, Cheyenne, or talk amazing things on social media, and the word spreads faster, I think, nowadays with social media than before. So I highly suggest that you take care not only what happens within your office, which I'm sure you're already doing, but also what happens outside with your customers, with your clients, with agencies, or like people you're working with, not only directly as a freelancer, but also your customers in your shop. That's it. Did I answer that? Please let me know, Cheyenne. I can't believe we did this, guys. I think it's been, I always say this at the end of every patron Q&A, but I think it's the longest patron Q&A I've ever done. I'm sorry if it was too long, guys, but I really wanted to take the time to answer all of your questions as thoroughly and deep as I possibly can, because I want to help you. I want to help you so bad. And yeah, so, congratulations if you made it this far. Now I'm going to sit nice and quiet for the rest of the day so my throat can heal herself, because it's a she, obviously. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday and a lovely week, the rest of the week. Thank you so much, guys, for all your incredibly and generous support. You guys are nuts. But thank you so much for being here and stay here with me. I really hope I answer all of your questions, so please let me know. And thank you for sending awesome questions. Like, I can't believe all of the things you asked me. Anyway, that's it, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye, guys. Bye. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye. Love you. Bye.